Hey guys, welcome back to Marvelous Videos with me, Ray Jericho. Lee Winnell popularized his unique brand of horror through the first Insidious movie, which was a complete package with an innovative storyline and adequate jump scares. Since then, there has been no looking back for the franchise, and the recent release, Insidious: The Red Door, marks the fifth installment for the horror series that explores more about family love and self-strength than the usual trope of religion and conventional fear-inducing moments. Of course, all these movies also mean a variety of demonic entities that tormented the viewers, and in this video, we will try to explore every single one of them and their role in the franchise. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Lipstick Face Demon. We cannot possibly begin discussing the demonic entities in the Insidious franchise without talking about the primary demon among them, the one that rules the further realm. This is a realm stuck between heaven and hell, and it is inhabited by various malicious demons, Lipstick Face, or the Red-Faced Demon, being the most powerful among them. He has been a key character in every Insidious movie, and even the latest release features Lipstick Face as the main antagonist. The Lipstick Face Demon was created as an angel to serve God, but his rebellion got him cast out of heaven. It can be assumed that he ended up in the further realm following his banishment, and he is constantly on the lookout for pure and powerful souls to corrupt and control. He goes after Dalton, and his tryst with the family continues even in the latest movie. Demons like him are quite territorial in nature, and their goal is to possess more bodies to be able to cause pain to others. While it is not specifically mentioned, it is possible that such demons also derive power from watching others suffer. This sinister creature has a majorly humanoid appearance with long spider-like fingernails, hooves, and a long forked tail. He stands tall, and his body is black as charcoal, with creepy tufts of hair around his ears. His blood-red face stands out, and also gives him the strange name, and Lipstick Face is much more powerful than any other demon in the franchise. He can command all the weaker entities in the further to do his bidding, and his insane physical powers can be observed when he toys with the humans for fun. The red marking on his face and his overall sinister personality, the Lipstick Face Demon is often compared to Darth Maul, and the Insidious franchise wouldn't be the same without his presence. The Bride in Black. The Bride in Black is actually a male demonic entity named Parker Crane, and his story arc is one of the most twisted ones that you will come across in the Insidious franchise. He suffered years of abuse and torture at the hands of his mother, and she hated his name because it was given to him by his father. His mother named him Marilyn, and he eventually lost his mind and dressed up as an old woman in a black wedding dress. This helped him hide his identity, and he was responsible for the murder of 15 women. After he killed himself, he became a demonic entity in the further realm, and the Bride in Black can be seen in the first 3 movies of the franchise. He is actually a tall, pale, and bald man who looks like he's in his 60s, and when he is dressed up as a bride, he wears facial makeup and a blonde wig. While this demon has performed some despicable acts, one should still consider the fact that his own mother is actually responsible for his condition. Later, after his death, he continued to enjoy causing pain and suffering, and he was seen to be jealous of a loving relationship between a mother and her son. Although he surely has various demonic superpowers, he mostly used brute force to get the better of his victims. He is bound to remind you of Norman Bates, the infamous serial killer from Alfred Hitchcock's popular movie Psycho. The Sick College Kid. This is not exactly a demonic entity, but the sick kid from Dalton's college is one of the first ghosts seen by him. The college student seems to have passed away from a drug overdose during one of the frat parties, and it is quite a confusing moment for Dalton as he tries to grasp what he is viewing. The student is not evil, but the disgusting character design and shock value makes the scene with him stand out. There is also a particularly disturbing scene where his bodily fluids seem to flow onto Dalton, and it is a gross moment that will take some time forgetting. The Key-Face Demon. He may not have been the most terrifying demonic entity that you have seen in the Insidious franchise, but he is a demon nevertheless. He serves as the main villain of Insidious, The Last Key, and his skeletal face with sunken eyes and long, greasy hair on the sides of his head make him a rather intriguing sight. The Key-Face Demon resembles a corpse in many ways, especially with his facial appearance and his bloated belly. Of course, he gets his unique name because he has metallic keys for fingernails, and these are used to lock people in the further realm. Like a majority of demonic entities, the Key-Face Demon also derives sadistic pleasure from tormenting and torturing others. He also keeps spirits as his captive, and he feeds on the negative emotions to power him. The Key-Face Demon, aka the Key Bearer, seeks absolute control and power in the further realm, and for this reason, he keeps trying to open all doors there to control the essence of the entity living there. His primary power involves locking the victims into the further, and he can also silence them first, before proceeding to capture them. Once he takes over the victim, he is also capable of causing actual physical harm, and he is also physically superpowered, which allows him to knock people off with a simple roar. He has some other demonic abilities, such as traveling at super speed and teleporting instantly from one place to another. Overall, Key-Face was quite an overwhelming demonic character, and it is only some of the questionable design choices and rather laughable scenes involving him that take out some of his terrifying quotient. The Wheezing Demon. The Wheezing Demon gets his name from the strange wheezing sound that he makes, and he is usually dressed up in a dirty hospital dress. He wears a breathing mask as well, and it seems like he died from some kind of respiratory illness before ending up in the further. He has remarkable shape-shifting abilities, and there is an instance where he transforms into the dead husband of an individual to prompt her to kill herself and join him. A general goal of the Wheezing Demon is to possess people and get them to kill themselves, so that their spirits can be trapped in the further and serve as his pets. There is also a stark difference between other demonic entities in the further and the Wheezing Demon, and the latter shows no intent of returning to the realm of the living. In fact, the Wheezing Demon is happy to drag the living souls into the further to entertain himself. Apart from his demonic physical powers, the Wheezing Demon is also a master of illusion and can invade minds of mortals to confuse them in the living realm. This sinister entity was seen as the main antagonist of Insidious Chapter 3, and it turned out that removing his facial mask could cause him great distress, ultimately destroying him. The Doll Girl Demon. The Doll Girl did not have a memorable role in terms of the story of the first Insidious movie, but her presence in the further realm helped us understand it better. This realm is the space between heaven and hell, and a number of malevolent demonic entities reside here. As for the Doll Girl, she can be seen living a traumatic loop, where she and her family experience their deaths again and again. She seems to have killed her entire family by shooting them dead, and the whole event just goes on to suggest how twisted and creepy the further realm is. The most unnerving thing about the Doll Girl Demon and her family is how they're all dressed up in a typical 50s fashion, which suggests that they have been trapped in this realm since then. The Doll Girl also sports a disturbing grin on her face, and it is bound to be a shocker the first time you see this demonic entity. The Ghoul, the long-haired fiend. This is yet another of the dangerous demonic entities residing in the further, and he has appeared quite a few times in the franchise. From the looks of it, the Ghoul, aka the long-haired fiend, looks like a criminal in his past life. He probably descended into the further realm after his death, and he could never give up on his twisted mentality and malicious intent. He can be seen dressed in a black leather trench coat, and it seems like his face degenerated to some extent following his death. However, his appearance keeps changing slightly, and the Ghoul is not a demonic force to be taken lightly. He appears in the first Insidious movie as one of these secondary demons, and he can be seen entering Dalton's room only to flee before the arrival of Josh. Later, the demon tries to sexually assault Renai while the lipstick-faced demon possesses Dalton, but once Elise manages to force the demon out of his body, even the long-haired fiend disappears. Lastly, he attempts to overpower and take over Josh, and almost succeeds before Josh manages to fight back and makes him retreat back into his lair. In Insidious 2, the long-haired fiend has a few cameo appearances, that add to the element of jump scare. You can also spot him at the end of Insidious 3, and it seems like you can get more of him in the movies to come, because technically he is still lurking around the further realm. While there may not be any immediate additions to the franchise, Insidious is still ripe for more to come, and the post-credit scene certainly kept the option open. Do let us know in the comments below about the demonic entity that scared you the most in the franchise, and also tell us about your thoughts on the new movie. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone!